Hey RATBAGGERS, it's Jade going over the latest Valheim news, and today there is a exciting possibility that we may see some Forsaken powers being changed in Valheim. Well, not today, and a big if. Luma, the producer at Irongate, has said, what if we decided to tweak Forsaken powers in Valheim? What would you like to see? And there's already a ton of little comments and suggestions, which I'm going to go over because I think some of them are pretty good already. And it's all gearing up now to really start shaping Valheim into the 1.0 experience that they want the game to be. It's a perfectly great game now. I honestly am still convinced if you never updated it again, it would be almost just as good. But of course we are getting a lot of content coming for 1.0. When that's happening, we still don't know. Is it going to be the end of the year? Is it going to be next year? But we do know they are looking to improve stuff. I showed you guys also recently that they were looking at maybe terrain changes. It wasn't 100% confirmed, but it was teased with these pictures showing off these dummies that you can literally spawn and place in the world now. They generally don't move, but you can get hit markers off them. And clearly it was, to my mind, showing that it was definitely a bit elevated, hopefully fixing what has been a long-term complaint about Valheim and combat, that you literally can't kill an enemy or hit an enemy if it's like half an inch below you. And absolutely, yes, you should need to think about your ground just like you would in a real battle. Firm footing and all that business, but come on now, it's a game. Especially in some of the biomes that exist in Valheim. I'm looking at you, Mistlands. It's just not a fun mechanic feeling like you've been hard done by, especially when an enemy can hit you even though they are half an inch higher or lower, but you can't do the same to them. So it makes perfect sense they would tweak and change some of that if that's what's happening. Of course, the focus today is on these powers, and Luma is asking, what do you want changed? What do you want to see tweaked? Let them know, and absolutely you guys start typing furiously in the comment section. The amount of hassling I give these devs every time I post a video, I'm pretty sure they'll see it and look at the feedback. And yes, there was an update yesterday, especially for Xbox users who haven't bothered to go and click on the website to see the patch notes. It's the one that I told you about a couple of weeks ago on the PTB. So I won't necessarily cover all of that again, but I will leave the link to that video in the comment section if you were curious about exactly what type of fixes have improved Valheim. But there were a ton, especially for FPS and improvements for Xbox and PC and Mac as well. But yeah, let's go through the powers one by one just as a recap, and then we'll go through some of the comments that you guys have already put out on Twitter, on X, that I think are pretty good. So of course, starting off with Bambi's dad. So obviously, yes, you get your 60% reduction in run stamina usage and jump stamina usage. Of course, killing Treebeard gives you faster wood cutting. Slime here, resistance against physical damage, obviously blunt, slash and pierce. Moda always tailwind when sading. I actually just think the cooldown for this should be a lot shorter. Being able to use it more often maybe. Old Big Ed's Yagaloth. Resistance for his magic damage and lightning damage. So that fire, that frost and lightning. Then of course we've got the Queen, faster mining, increased ether regeneration. Ether regen 100%. And I know I'm here at the Wall of Shame. Ashlands broke me. I never got around to defeating Vader. This is one that I've gone through the game with some of my RATBAGGERS and streamed. And nope, I never got around to doing it even if I use my cheat character, which I often do to make quick guides and stuff. I really wanted to see if I could defeat Vader completely legit before diving into a character that had like all the best gear and best items. And of course, that never transpired. But of course, defeating him does give you 300 extra carry weight and 10% extra movement speed. So let's jump over to Twitter and see some of these replies because they're pretty good. And Briella says the ability to switch powers without travelling to spawn. So many powers just don't get used because of the inconvenience of switching. And Luma said, how would one switch powers? By using items you're carrying in your inventory? And yeah, that would be a great idea. What if you could go ahead and obviously get more of the trophies from killing bosses? Give us a reason to go ahead and redo boss fights. And you could utilise them trophies to place anywhere you want and then activate the power. Not necessarily on the standing stone. The first time, yes, you have to go and activate the first one on standing stone. And you could argue, you could say you could even take the actual trophy off and then just keep it on you. Have it at your outpost, place it on just a regular wall and activate it that way. But I still think there's something important with the lore about bringing it to the standing stones. So if they did have something like that, then that's the most obvious sense. Give us a reason to fight bosses again. The convenience of being able to flip between different powers will make so much sense, and it'll be something earned, again, not just necessarily given easily. Others want elder skill improvements, some want better bonuses, especially with players that are max level. Man, who's running around Valheim always at max level? As soon as you get killed, you like drop like 100 levels, I swear. Of course, I joke. I know there's some chuds out there absolutely killing it. But a good point from C2 here, maybe making it a percentage-based stat instead. According to him, potions make Yagluth irrelevant. He'd want Yagluth to do something else and just tweak them to complement the game better. Marshmallow says, I'd probably reduce the damage resistance from bone mass, it's too strong. It will increase motivation to use other powers. Yeah, it has to be said, considering it's like now a middle game or even slightly still early game boss, it could be argued that it's still the GOAT to use throughout the whole adventures in Valheim. I'd argue you could even swap that with Vader's abilities. But would that make the game too hard without having that extra bone mass stuff? Luma agrees with Jake Hansen's suggestion that Yagluth is just a little bit weak sauce. You can get fire resistance from Mead and the Frost. Does it really, or has it ever worked? Like, you've usually gone and found the mountains obviously before then. So yeah, and likewise according to him, Vader powers seem a little weak since they can also carry capacity speed with the Troll Mead, Ratsack Mead instead. And Luma says, I agree with you, Yagluth's power does need some changes, and yeah, bone mass is OP. Any suggestion on new Yagluth power, any idea from small to big is welcome. Other people, Dex Games, saying that Vader's carrying capacity definitely has to come earlier, especially when you've got to carry mountain eggs, iron, silver. And Marshmallow again, I would give the Queen's ability to mine ore to the Elder without affecting the ability to chop down trees. To make it more of just a pure gather buff, not just for wood but for ores as well. Maybe some extra Itra to add to accelerated regeneration for the Queen. It does feel like the Queen should have some extra poison abilities. I know we've got potions, but still. Uki wants some actual visual changes, maybe some cosmetic auras around the character when they're active, like Tressie around the player when Icar's power is active. And yes, I say all these names wrong all the time. So already good suggestions, and literally it's been time of me recording this only an hour. And I want to hear your opinions, people. Make your opinions count. This could be your only chance to get something meaningfully added that you really want changed into the game. No, of course not. The devs are really good at listening to feedback. They scour through the Steam forums. I know for a fact their community manager and their Discord manager really do a good job of going through lots of feedback and taking stuff on board. It's just finding the time to try and implement everything in one go. Yeah, this is a direct rally call. If you want something changed with the powers, put your suggestion in the comment section down below. As said, I'm pretty sure I'll poke Luma enough that he'll probably go and have a good read. So be kind, people. Be nice. And last thing to say, maybe this change won't actually happen with 1.0. It might come earlier. We do know they're working on at least one update before 1.0. So yeah, this could hit sooner. And that's pretty much it. Just a reminder though that I will be returning to Valheim with a fresh play style or playthrough even beginning of April. I did contemplate trying to finish off the Ashlands, but honestly, I feel like I need to get my skills up a bit again. So I might be doing it completely fresh with some of my rat bags. Going to be a big year for Valheim. No matter when it does go 1.0, I'll be here with the news first as always, and first looks as soon as I can. Until next time, rat bags, laters.